Anina Yurokova, Frankie Bernstein, and Sienna Cherokee in The Zeigenfuss Date, directed by David Techman. The words appear over photographs of a small brick restaurant in a secluded location. Inside, a pretty blonde woman in a dark pantsuit reads a very old book. On the table before her are two menus, an ashtray, and a carnation. The table is in a sort of pit with booths in the center of the restaurant, lower than the main restaurant's floor. Well-dressed Jews approach the stairs to the booth. The lady does not look up, but reaches into her purse. A handsome man in a suit descends the stairs.
I see you're reading Somerset Maugham.
He has a carnation in his pocket.
Yes. Ah, nice flower.
The woman closes her
I
book.
saw yours too. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Isn't it? Sit. I go by Smidge.
The man sits at the booth near her.
Call me Heron for short.
They shake hands. The pretty brunette waitress approaches.
Hi, welcome to the Catamount. I'm your server, Alice. Can I get you started with something to drink?
Coke.
I'll have the same, thank you.
All right, I'll be right back with those for you.
Alice leaves. Smidge watches her.
I'm wary of the waitstaff when they get too friendly.
Don't be. She's all right. She doesn't recognize me.
Smidge
Heron.
picks up the flower and smells it.
You don't exactly look like the picture you sent me.
Oh,
I mean, you look a little darker in the photo. Am I right?
yes, you are. I had that photo taken about 2 years ago, while I was still living in Toledo.
Toledo? That's far away.
Smidge sets down the flower.
It's not so far.
Heron, I was glad to find out you liked old computer games too. Not many people do.
I know, those old DOS games have quite the artistry to them.
We're nerds, aren't we?
I guess we are.
Smidge leans closer.
I'm glad old Zeigenfuss put us in contact.
Old Zeigenfuss. I am too. Which reminds me,
From his inner
brought you a
jacket
game.
pocket, Heron
It's
takes
one of my
a
favorites.
5
I think you'll really
floppy
like it.
diskette in sleeve.
Minor Bob and the Sagittarius Scaffmaster.
He hands it to Smidge.
How thoughtful of you.
Smidge sets it down and looks up. Alice enters with 2 Cokes, which she sets in front of them. Her hand trails along the table and she grabs the disc.
Is this a diskette?
Smidge tenses,
It's all right.
reaches into
Alice
her
was
purse
just
quickly.
curious, weren't you?
Heron puts a hand on her
She
shoulder.
probably hasn't seen one for a long time.
No, what's on this?
It's an old DOS game.
Okay.
Alice sets down the disc.
Are you guys ready to order?
A few more minutes.
She leaves. Smidge takes her hand from her purse.
It's okay. You'll be able to play that game soon enough.
Maybe we should go somewhere else for lunch.
No, this is a good place.
You're right. I'm being silly. So what's good here?
Smidge opens the menu.
Have you tried their fried oysters?
Heron is suddenly serious.
I think I have.
From his inner jacket pocket, he takes a cigar and puts it to his lips. He blows a dart into Smidge's neck.
What?
You had me going there. Smidge.
He stands and replaces the cigar. Smidge falls from her seat.
But she wouldn't order oysters.
He reaches for the disc. Smidge lies on the
Certainly
floor.
not the best
Drop
date
of
I've
blood
been
on
on.
her neck.
Mind if I indulge in one last cigarette?
By all means.
Heron finishes replacing the diskette, reaches into his other pocket as though for a gun. From her purse, Smidge takes a silver cigarette lighter and 1 cigarette which she puts in her mouth. Heron relaxes and withdraws his hand. Smidge flicks the lighter. Heron collapses as though shot. Smidge dies. Alice dashes down the steps and dives to her knees by Heron, who is propped up on one elbow,
Alice,
his hand over his bloody
take this
chest.
diskette. Take this to Zeigenfuss. Take this diskette to Zeigenfuss. Remember that.
He hands her the disc. Alice's distraught face melts into a cold smile.
That's no place for this, Mr. Heron. Smidge was one of our best. You should be proud.
She sits up and puts it into her apron. Heron stares and then rolls over onto his back, dead. Alice stands.
Help!
She runs from the pit as Smidge and Heron lie side by side dead, freeze and slowly fade as credits roll.
The Zeigenfuss Date, Nina Yorokova, Smidge, Frankie Bernstein as Heron, Sienna Cherokee as Alice, written and directed by David Techman, director of photography, Daryl Pan and audio recording, Brandon Valencia, Gaffer Grip and Slate, Alexis Franklin, editors, Brandon Valencia and David Techman, advisors, Professor Gary Grossman, Bernard Badian and Steve Rogers, Miss Cherokee's apron provided by Rachel Duran. Special thanks to the Crimson Lion, Minor Pop and the Sagittarius Scaffmaster. Copyright 1986. Ticket software songs included I'm in the Mood for Love, public domain recording and Enigma by Kevin McLeod of IncomePaycheck.com. Additional sound from Music 2. Use the Free Firearm Sound Library and sundry public domain sources. Filmed on location at Loyola Marymount University. This production was done in partial fulfillment of degree requirements for a Master of Fine Arts at Loyola Marymount University.
LMULA School of Film and Television. Smidge stares demurely at us from the floor. Copyright 2014, David Techman. fade to black.